Welcome to Monday. It's the 6th day of December 2021. Welcome to the Day Weather Podcast. Well, folks, winter weather finally returned. For some of you, especially east of the Continental Divide, you really got a taste of winter weather yesterday with snow, wind, and a big drop in temperature. West of the Divide, mainly wind. But as we go on into tonight and tomorrow and the following days, the weather pattern is going to get more busy. We have a quick moving system tonight and Tuesday. It's not going to be much of a storm, but it will produce some snow in the mountains, reinforce the cold air, bring a few flurries to the plains, but it's mainly going to be a mountain event. There's a small break in the weather on Wednesday, but another weather system is coming with another shot of snow, especially mountains, but snow on the plains Thursday and Friday. We are going to be looking at developing snow again Thursday and Friday, not only mountains, but it's likely going to be reaching the plains as well, especially Interstate 80 and sections of I-25. We'll take a closer look at that, and we'll certainly update you tomorrow on it. But we are going to have some travel concerns Thursday and Friday in the region with this second storm system moving in. It'll be continued colder into the upcoming weekend. The weekend is looking colder, but it doesn't look like the snow will stick around. We're going to have some ups and downs with temperatures. We don't see the severe bitter cold settling in yet, but certainly it's going to be a lot colder than it's been. We're going to have ups and downs and systems moving through about every 3 or 4 days or so. So it's going to be a lot more to talk about and a lot more busy going forward. Continuing to get in some beautiful sunrise and sunset shots across the region. This one from Sabile Canyon, the Torrington area, beautiful shot. Then for our folks down in Colorado, beautiful shot of the North Fork Valley of the Gunnison with the sunrises and sunsets, which have just been wonderful. Now we're going to be looking at more in the way of weather clouds, producing weather, than just pretty high clouds. Here's the upper level pattern for tonight into tomorrow morning. Northwest winds aloft coming on in, and these northwest winds aloft will continue to direct in cooler Canadian air. And there's enough Pacific moisture in the mix. This is where the mountains are going to get some snow, but this is not really a good pattern for the plains. But we have another wave back up here, and this is the one that's going to be a little more potent. As we go forward, it's going to be bringing in more in the way of precipitation. This is through Wednesday morning. You can see this next wave is going to produce, you see the green and the blues and the grays. There is going to be some precipitation up into the mountains, a little bit of shower activity along the Pacific Northwest coast, even parts of northern and central California with this next wave. But if you notice, east of the Continental Divide, there's not going to be much, but it will snow as we get into tonight and Tuesday in the high country. The northern and central Rockies, parts of the Pacific Northwest will get a little bit of snow up on the high country plains, not going to do so well. Here's the second wave coming in late as we go into the day Thursday and overnight Thursday into Friday morning. Now, right now, it's showing what we call an open wave, to where it's going to come through fairly quickly and not slow down, so it'll be a fairly quick moving storm. There is some potential that this system could maybe be slower and more towards the Four Corners region, so we're going to need to keep an eye on it. We certainly think it's going to be a snow producer in the mountains and the plains, but the speed will determine the extent of how heavier the snow is going to be on the plains, or whether or not it's just going to be in and out in a day or so. So we're going to need to kind of keep an eye on this system. It's got a lot of cold air. It's got a lot of Pacific moisture with it. And you can see that. This is the precipitation for the 72-hour period, basically Wednesday through Saturday. And you can see a pretty good swath of blue here. That's over a ½ inch of water. Then the yellows into the mountains of Colorado and Wyoming, the Wasatch of Utah, even back into the Sierra Nevada here. So there's a good amount of moisture with this system. And if we were to convert it to snow, you can see that we've got a good chance of snow as we get into that Thursday, Friday time frame, especially along Interstate 80 and sections of I-25 in Wyoming into western Nebraska. Now, right now, the Front Range of Colorado not forecasted to have too much snow out of this, but we need to watch this area. We could very well end up seeing some of that heavier snow slip into there, something we'll watch. You can see a lot of pink in the mountain ranges, so there's going to be some good precipitation up into the mountains. So the mountains got 2 shots of precipitation coming in the form of snow between now and through the upcoming weekend. Now, this is all the way out till next Wednesday, and you can see we continue to have weather systems come into the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest. Here's another front in the Rockies. We got a lot of cold, stormy weather up here in Alaska, the Gulf of Alaska, the source region for these systems. That's where it's coming from. So these systems are going to continue to move through about every 3 or 4 days or so. Ultimately, this is just wonderful news for the snowpack, as it will continue to bring the mountains of the west occasional periods of snow over the next 10 days. While we don't expect a lot on the plains, some snow will occasionally come out onto the plains as well. And this is for the period 72 hours at the tail end of the 10-day period. So basically, this is for the early parts of next week. Look at all the precipitation into California, Washington, and Oregon, and then stretching back and getting back into the northern Rockies again. So this next wave right here is likely going to move into the Intermountain West after the 15th, but not until after bringing the West Coast some needed rain. So things are picking up. Things are looking a lot more interesting. Things are looking a lot more like they should for this time of year. Have yourself a great Monday. We'll update you in all the winter weather with our update on Tuesday morning. Have yourself a great Monday.